welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. If you missed the last episode, it was kind of an introduction to myself and what this podcast is going to be about. We did a quick intro for this episode, but I'm so excited to dive into living a purpose-driven life as an entrepreneur. And so grab your coffee, whatever you're drinking, if it's coffee, if it's tea, grab your favorite drink, and let's kind of dive into the dynamics of living and pulling in purpose into your business. It's got a huge impact into the way you operate and into the impact that you have on both your clients and your community. So it's a fantastic thing. I would say it's probably one of the most important foundations of your business. It certainly is for mine, and I've really learned to lean into that over profits, and profits do follow. Believe me, they do follow when you are living more of a purpose to yourself. We're going to look into how to align your business with your faith or your values. We'll dig into some action items and some ways that you can implement this yourself in your business, and discuss kind of how purpose has personally shaped my own journey, and maybe that'll give you some feedback and some ideas for your own. And we're going to look at a framework to discover your why and how you can really start keeping in the back of your head, how can you really instill purpose into everything that you're doing with your business and make it more meaningful. So here's why purpose matters as an entrepreneur. You can go into any type of business or startup or whatever it is that you want to do with the idea of profit, right? At the end of the day, we're all trying to make money and, pay our bills and be able to do that with something that we enjoy doing. So that's a given. But by having a purpose, let me just say, and I'm not even, believe me, there are people who are far ahead of me and far above me. So really, the focus here is to provide my input and experience on how meaningful purpose has really been for me in my journey. But let me just say that by defining what that purpose is for you is going to help you in your decision making. It's going to help you in the people that you bring into your business. It's going to help with the people you keep in your business, and your reputation, everything. It's all going to stem from what your purpose is, because it shows when you really put yourself behind it. And if we put that ahead of just merely profits, because I will say, finishing that thought is, you can work so hard and think, just what's the paycheck going to be at the end of the day? Once you reach that, then it's okay. The next financial level that you're trying to reach. And ultimately, that's not as fulfilling as being able to know you're making a meaningful impact. And for some, maybe it is. But I will say that having more purpose than just the paycheck at the end of the day is really going to make you feel more fulfilled inside, because money can buy things, it can buy items, it can buy experiences, but what do you really want to be remembered for? And so we'll dig into some of that, and kind of looking at some of the ways that you can bring purpose into your business. What can that look like? Can it look like doing donations? So for me, my coffee business, I love coffee, and coffee to me is an interesting commodity, because to me, coffee also equals community. What do you do anytime you want to go meet somebody or do anything? Coffee is involved in business meetings, in first dates, in events, in your morning routine. If you're like me, your nightly routine. Coffee is just one of those things that are instilled in so many things. So that alone was a lot more purpose-driven for me than what the brand used to be, which was outdoor dog bandanas. Don't get me wrong, I love dogs, I love the outdoors, but for me, being able to rebrand and do a coffee business, that was outdoor dog themed really was a lot more purposeful and mission driven for me. And on top of that, we donate 10% of profits to homeless pets. So there's a foundation behind that. And why does that matter to me? For me, yes, I want to grow the business. It's not about the profit. It's about making an impact. And for me, I love dogs. And so being able to give back in that way is fantastic. But there's other ways that you can also find purpose and tie that into your business. It doesn't have to be donations. It can be community. It can be the way you serve and show up for your employees and people around you. So how can we tie either your faith, if you're faith-based, or your values, your personal values, whatever those might be, how can you tie those into your business and provide a purpose that keeps you grounded? It's going to keep you grounded during the storms, during all of your challenges, and it's going to give you a clear outline of how to tackle or handle big decisions. By tying those in, say honesty is a big one for you. If honesty is very important for you, that's naturally going to flow into your business. And the way you handle your clients, the way you handle your employees, being honest and handling all your transactions, all the meetings, everything that you're handling on a day-to-day basis, that's a value that's going to naturally just flow into your business. So really outline what are those elements that can be input and instilled into your business today. And we'll go through an exercise to make sure that you can get those outlined. So I want to just share some information some stats, on what purpose-led companies are able to do. So there's a Harvard Business Review that states companies that are purpose-led consistently outperform the S&P 500. One study of 1,000 plus companies found that organizations with a strong sense of purpose had higher revenue growth and employee engagement, and outperformed competitors by 5 to 7% annually. Another study from Forbes, this one in 2022, says purpose-driven companies achieve higher long-term profitability, reporting that employees in these organizations are more productive, turnover is lower, and innovation rates are higher. So that's what I was mentioning. It's not just about growing that bottom line. It's also about the retention rate and happiness of your employees as well as yourself. And being able to pull that into your decision making, both your values or having a stronger purpose, is going to give you kind of like that North Star where you can say, every decision that I have to make needs to run parallel to whatever these value system is that I have in place, or whatever our purpose or a mission statement is. I also want to state that a purposeful business is not just going to be a mission statement. So many businesses do have a mission statement, but you've got to live and breathe that mission statement. It's got to run within your veins, within your whole company. Without it, a mission statement just kind of falls flat. It's going to be pretty quick and pretty evident pretty quickly if that mission statement isn't kind of upheld in the way you do business with your customers or with your employees across the board. It's going to be very apparent. So make sure that it's not just a mission statement. You can get very excited and powerful in writing such a fantastic mission statement. What does it truly mean to you, and how are you going to implement that mission statement so that it's very reflective in everything you do, every decision that you make? It's going to be very important. So I want to share a couple personal stories or just some examples on how this has been able to be implemented myself in my own business. So I did mention earlier the coffee business. Being able to pull in a mission of the donations to homeless pets was fantastic. I love the outdoors, and to me, like, the outdoors is my happy place. Um, and being outdoors with my dog, fantastic. Like, that is a win-win situation. And again, building a company around the community aspect, another win-win. So that one was easy enough. That was easy to do, but also I I hold my faith and my values very, they're very close to me. And so when I'm operating my business, I will always be transparent. I do not like to lie. I am not a liar. I will always tell the truth. I will always make sure that I can go above and beyond for customers or clients. And so pulling this into my real estate side of business, you're dealing with big transactions and lots of money, and there's just a lot to be had with any real estate transaction. And so being able to effectively communicate and being able to really tell my clients that I've got their back, and more so in transitioning into being a real estate investor, that transparency is going to carry on with communicating to investors on how a deal is operating, or letting them know, these are the numbers. I'm not going to fluff them. I'm going to be very honest and real with you about what this deal can or can't perform. But at the end of the day, it is an investment at the same time. So you've got to understand that. Because I think by being very transparent, walking with honesty, you build trust, and it shows. So if you're going to walk in and think that you can fluff it or lie your way through different circumstances just to get a quick win, it's going to be uncovered pretty quickly. So those are going to be evident pretty quickly that you need to walk with bigger purpose, and having a value system to carry that is going to be huge. So let's talk about some moments where sticking to my values has cost me something in the short term, but gained me something in the long term. For me, if it's my coffee business, if it's my real estate investing business, with my coffee business, I know, how much we can ship, how much, all that. So being able to know what we can produce there, but also with the real estate investing, when I was working as an agent, I guess we'll pull it back to that. If there's ever a circumstance where I know I can't confidently take on, say, a client, I actually turned down a listing before because I had so much on my plate, and I just knew that I could not give my full attention and my full effort, my full 100% effort to that deal or to that client at the time. I'm not going to take that and just kind of try and work my way through it. To me, I would rather refer that out to somebody who I know does have the bandwidth to do that. At the end of the day, it's going to reflect better on me than going in and doing a poor job and now tarnishing my name and having a poor reputation. So being very honest with myself has always proven to help me make those better decisions. I'm not just going to take on something that I know I absolutely cannot handle, even if it means a bigger payday at the end of the day. I want to walk with honesty, with integrity, and I really want the best outcome for clients, for people. We're all struggling through life together, so I'm not going to come in and promise something that I know I cannot deliver. And I take that very seriously because I want to make sure that I'm able to do the best job that I can. And so through my real estate investing, being able to back that and being able to back the investors that invest with me, or being able to really perform and put my all into the real estate deals and transactions that we're doing. It's all part of having a purpose and being able to drive that bottom line of, I'm going to put my faith, I'm going to put my values into this, and we're going to keep it growing. So I want you to reflect a little bit on yourself, whatever business it is that you have. Take a minute and just kind of think about, are you just motivated, or is it motivation that you're just trying to lean into to really help you propel yourself forward? Or is it a purpose that you're actually chasing? If it's really just motivation in a day by day, some days you wake up motivated, some days you don't. It's time to underline what is that purpose. What's something that really just lights a fire underneath you that's going to propel you forward further. And a way that you can look at this is if you were gone, if you were to pass away, if you were to pass down this business to someone else, what do you want your legacy to be? You don't want it to be just that you made a lot of money, right? What do you want your legacy to be? If you're passing your business down to your children or to family or whatever the case may be, what is that legacy going to look like? What are people going to say about you? What are you people going to say about your business, the culture? If you have a storefront, what do people say when they walk into that front area and they talk to your employees? What is the reflection that you have through your employees that is then passed down to the customers, right? It's all a trickle effect. And so being able to really implement it deeply into your core business is going to be, it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes practice. But I think you can do it. A lot of businesses do, and it's something that is so worth putting that time and effort into, I promise. So let's look into a framework. How are we going to identify what your big why is? So I've mentioned that, you should take the time to figure that out, right? But how are we going to do that? I'm going to introduce kind of a simple, actionable framework that you can use to kind of define that for yourself. If you haven't yet, then this is hopefully going to be helpful in getting that put together. So 3 steps. We're going to reflect, we're going to align, and we're going to act. So by reflecting, we're going to, like I mentioned, what lights you up inside? What is something that you just get so excited about, that is so purposeful to you, that could be translated into your business? What is it? Is it faith? Is it some very strong value systems? Is it a foundation that you want to support? Is it community that you want to build? What is it? Let's outline that. Alignment. How do your values and your faith connect to your business? Let's connect those. Connect the dots and figure out a way that you can get those implemented in every component, right? Because I mentioned at the very core, it all begins with you. How are you going to interact with your customers, and how is this going to impact the way you interact with your customers, your employees? Really jot down and write down. I want you to journal all this down. So reflect, we're going to align. How does that align with every element of your business? And then act. What are those actionable steps? Where can you start weaving that purpose into your daily decisions? So you know yourself best. You know the types of decisions that you have to make best. So how does this really affect, or how can it affect in a positive light, the big decisions that you constantly have to make? Are you stressed out all the time? How can this really relieve some of that stress and give you some better decision-making power? Hopefully it can help there. So journal those down. Those are kind of your action steps for now. I think by defining that, really give yourself a timeline and give yourself consistency. It's not a one size fits all, and it's not a one and done situation. It takes practice. It takes consistency to really get it implemented. Let's define success. It's more than just profit. Success, that's another one. You'll see a lot of people say, what does success mean to you? Because same thing, it's not a one size fits all. Success isn't just money. Success isn't just profit in the bottom line. That's part of it. It absolutely is part of it. We're all doing this to make some money, pay our bills, and hopefully live better lives. But what are some of the other components? Let's write those down too. What are some other components that are within success to you? What does it really mean? And if you're on your last breath, what will make you feel that you had the most fulfilled business, fulfilled life, really jot those down and think about it. So those are kind of the steps that we're going to talk about today. Thank you so much for listening in. I really encourage you to take action. And like I mentioned, be consistent with it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by doing it once or just writing it down. You've got to really put in the work to execute this and really put it into your day to day. Every action that you take, every decision you make, really make it happen. And if you're not yet, make sure to follow me on social media, Brits Loving Life. We're going to be doing some more episodes. I'm so excited to be kind of maneuvering down this. Podcasting, it's new for me, so I'm excited. I appreciate your patience as we get through this. And if you want to be a guest, I'm looking for some fantastic guests that kind of align with what we're trying to do here. Reach out and let's get connected. You can email me at brittany@outridgeproperties.com. And thank you so much for watching. If you're listening, please feel free to subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next one.